Have you ever wondered why some connections feel so fleeting while others seem to touch something deeper? Maybe you found yourself drawn to someone who wasn't the loudest in the room or the most obvious choice, but they had something else, something rare. Now think about your own life. Have you struggled to build relationships that truly last? Do you feel like people only notice the surface, never the substance of who you are? Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The truth is, in a world filled with noise, the qualities that create lasting attraction are often overlooked. But there's a type of person who breaks through the chaos, not with charm or showmanship, but with something deeper: strength, purpose, and quiet confidence. Today, we're diving into what makes these individuals so magnetic and why understanding their traits can transform the way you approach connection and attraction. Lesson 1. Respect for boundaries. Have you ever felt like people constantly push your limits? Maybe you've agreed to things you didn't want to do just to avoid conflict or make others happy. Over time, this can leave you feeling exhausted and even resentful. Without clear boundaries, your time and energy are no longer your own, and people might take advantage of your willingness, even unintentionally. Epictetus once said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." Boundaries are the key to that freedom. They're not about being selfish or shutting people out. They're about teaching others how to treat you. When you set boundaries, you're sending a message: I value myself, and I respect my own needs. This kind of self-respect often inspires others to respect you as well. To start setting boundaries, focus on understanding what matters most to you: your time, energy, and personal values. When someone asks for more than you can give, it's okay to say no. You don't have to explain or apologize. A simple response like, "I can't right now, but I appreciate you asking," can be enough. If something doesn't align with your priorities, be honest about it. Saying, "I need to focus on my own responsibilities right now," communicates your boundaries clearly and kindly. The more you practice setting boundaries, the easier it becomes. You'll find that respecting your own limits not only protects your peace of mind, but also strengthens your relationships with those who value and respect you in return. Lesson 2. Embracing solitude. Do you ever feel uncomfortable being alone, like silence or solitude is something to avoid? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fill every moment with distractions, social media, endless tasks, or constant interactions. But when we avoid solitude, we miss out on the chance to truly connect with ourselves. Without this connection, it's hard to find clarity, peace, or even direction in life. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Embracing solitude requires courage because it means facing your thoughts and emotions head-on. But within that stillness lies a unique strength. Solitude isn't about isolation, it's about creating space for self-reflection and growth. It's where you can understand your own mind and make decisions rooted in who you truly are. To embrace solitude, start by setting aside quiet time each day, even if it's just a few minutes. Use this time to disconnect from distractions. Turn off your phone, step away from noise, and simply be present with your thoughts. Journaling can also help, allowing you to explore what's on your mind and uncover patterns or insights. If sitting in stillness feels too challenging, try a solo activity like walking, reading, or meditating to ease into the practice. Over time, you'll find that solitude becomes a source of strength. It allows you to recharge, gain perspective, and approach life with a clearer sense of purpose. When you're comfortable being alone, you'll realize that you don't need constant validation or approval from others. You already have everything you need within yourself. Lesson 3. Trust in silence. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone constantly talks but says very little? It's easy to confuse noise with confidence, but too many words can cloud meaning. On the other hand, silence can feel uncomfortable, like it needs to be filled. But when we overlook the power of silence, we miss its ability to create trust, clarity, and respect. The Stoics believed in the power of moderation. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Let your words be few and well chosen." Silence isn't hesitation or weakness. It's a sign of thoughtfulness and self-control. When you pause before speaking, your words carry more weight. People listen not because you're loud, but because you speak with intention. Silence also shows composure. It signals that you're not rattled or impulsive, but confident in your ability to listen and respond. To harness the power of silence, Start by practicing active listening. When someone speaks, focus entirely on their words instead of planning your response. Let there be moments of pause before you reply. This not only shows respect, but also gives you time to think carefully about what you want to say. In moments of disagreement, use silence as a way to remain calm and avoid escalating tension. Silence can feel powerful when used intentionally. It allows you to observe more, connect deeper, and communicate with purpose. Trust doesn't come from saying the right thing all the time. It comes from showing restraint and speaking only when it truly matters. Lesson 4. Admiration for self-reliance. Have you ever felt pressured to rely on others for validation or approval? Maybe you've sought external recognition or worked hard to meet others' expectations, only to feel empty once the praise fades. The truth is, when we place our value in the hands of others, we give up our own power and sense of worth. Self-reliance is about trusting yourself, your decisions, and your inner strength, without depending on outside validation. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, self-reliance is the key to a great life. True self-reliance doesn't mean doing everything alone, but it does mean finding strength within. It's about being confident in your abilities and trusting your judgment. When you're self-reliant, you no longer need to seek approval from others because you already know your worth. You find peace in knowing that your success and happiness come from within, not from the approval of others. To cultivate self-reliance, start by taking ownership of your choices. Trust your instincts and make decisions based on what feels right for you, not on what others expect. Challenge yourself to rely on your skills and knowledge before seeking advice or reassurance. You can also build self-reliance by setting personal goals and working toward them independently. Whether it's in your career, health, or personal growth, over time you'll find that the more you rely on yourself, the more confident and empowered you become. Self-reliance doesn't mean rejecting help. It simply means knowing that your value isn't dependent on anyone else's opinion, and that's a powerful way to live. Lesson 5. Restraint is true strength. Have you ever felt the urge to react immediately when someone challenges you or praises you? It's easy to be swept up in emotions, especially when provoked or praised. But when we act impulsively, we often regret our words or actions. True strength isn't about reacting quickly or showing power. It's about exercising restraint, even in the most intense moments. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, true power is not in showing force, but in restraint. Restraint is a sign of inner strength. It's the ability to pause, to choose how to respond, and to stay calm in the face of provocation. When you practice restraint, you show that you are not controlled by your emotions, but by your reason and values. This calm presence is what truly draws others in. To practice restraint, start by observing your reactions before responding. In moments of anger or excitement, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment of silence. This pause helps you to regain control of your emotions and choose a more thoughtful response. If you're faced with praise or attention, avoid bragging or letting it inflate your ego. A simple acknowledgement like, "Thank you," keeps you humble and grounded. Restraint doesn't mean being passive or weak. It means knowing when to hold back, when to act with purpose, and when to let your actions speak louder than words. The more you practice restraint, the more you'll realize that true strength comes from staying calm, thoughtful, and composed no matter the situation. Lesson 6. Depth over superficiality. Have you ever been stuck in a conversation that felt shallow, like it was all about small talk or surface-level compliments? It's easy to get caught up in casual interactions, but these often don't lead to meaningful connections. When we only focus on the surface, looks, status, or material things, we miss the chance to truly connect with others on a deeper level. True attraction comes from engaging with the essence of who someone is, not just what they show the world. Socrates wisely said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." To truly connect with others, we need to look beyond the surface and seek depth. It's about understanding people for who they truly are, not just their appearance or accomplishments. When you focus on depth, you're engaging with the most important part of someone, their thoughts, values, and beliefs. This is what builds trust in genuine relationships. To cultivate depth in your interactions, start by asking meaningful questions. Instead of asking about someone's day, ask about their dreams, their struggles, or their passions. Show genuine interest in what makes them unique. When you listen with intention. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Truly hear what the other person is saying. Engaging in deeper conversations may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to light chatter. But over time, you'll find that the connections you make will be far more meaningful. Depth isn't just attractive. It creates lasting relationships built on mutual understanding and respect. When you focus on what truly matters, you'll find that people are drawn to the authentic connection you offer. Lesson 7. Valuing character over possessions. How often do we find ourselves impressed by someone's possessions or external success? Maybe it's the car they drive, the brand they wear, or the lifestyle they lead. In today's world, it's easy to equate someone's worth with what they have. Legends that is focused on material things can leave us feeling empty and disconnected from what truly matters, the inner qualities that define a person's character. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Real value comes not from external things, but from the strength, integrity, and wisdom we carry within. A person who places their worth in material possessions is constantly at the mercy of external circumstances, but a person who values their character remains grounded no matter what happens around them. To start valuing character over possessions, focus on what truly makes you or others admirable. Honesty, kindness, resilience, and wisdom. Rather than seeking validation through the things you own or the status you have, invest in developing qualities that build long-term respect and trust. Surround yourself with people who value these traits over superficial things, and choose experiences that enrich your character rather than those that just add to your material possessions. When you start valuing character over things, you'll find that the relationships you build are far more meaningful. True wealth is found in the person you become, not in the things you collect. When you focus on inner richness, you'll realize that the possessions you once thought were important are only fleeting, while your character is something that will last a lifetime. And recognition